They want me go, I say, but then say they want me go, I say, your friend Janela, your friend Janela, your friend Janela, friend
Share the broadcast, people.
I never see it from them. They got a love of style, but I'm going to concentrate them.
Share the broadcast, people. What's your you find yourself? Liberian music to the war, my people. Please share the broadcast if you just joining us. Absolutely, what exactly money can I do? Share the broadcast, people. Diaspora Talk is here for you. Share the broadcast, people. Share the broadcast. Diaspora Talk is here to stay. Share the broadcast, my people. We are here to discuss issues affecting our country, Liberia. Discussing national issues all day, all night. We will not copyright the music playing in the background, just for entertainment purposes. Tonight gonna be fire. Oh yeah. Yeah, when a Liberian man died, you know that Liberian man killed him. Oh yeah. Yeah, when you push me down, that's the main time I'm gonna go up. Yeah. Share the broadcast, my people. Discussing more political issues tonight. Please share the broadcast, my people. Please share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast. Yeah. Liberia need to be on the mark in a positive mood, in a positive sense, my people. Yeah, the Diaspora Talk here on the Asia Premium platform. You can find us on Asia Premium platform live. You can also find us on YouTube as Diaspora Talk. We are on 3 platforms for now, my people. Yeah, so you can follow us from anywhere. Yeah, tonight gonna be so hot on the Diaspora Talk. You can also find us on Asia Premium platform, or you can find us on YouTube as Diaspora Talk. We're discussing issues, national issues of our country, Liberia. In a few seconds from now, a few minutes, yeah, we'll be going live in the discussion. No time to waste, my people. Happy Sunday day to you all.
You're in New York with DJ OC King.
we have 3 discussion points tonight. Trust me, it's gonna be like fire. We will open the phone lines for you guys to make your call.
If you get money, so you can get, you know, enjoy your life. Don't worry about the haters and folks, you know, enjoy your life. Sweet, 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 mama thing. Everybody wanna do that thing.
We're discussing about the 3 government officials that have been on sanction. And so while the government of Liberia are going to have the guys then prosecuted. Also, we're talking about the SUP protest. Successful protest is going to August 24th, along with the free position movement headed by the man Prophet Key. We will also be looking at the 2023 general election to come. Who you going to be supporting and why? So tonight going to be an open discussion with our audience. You can call in to participate because the number going to be posted out sooner. No time to waste. Please share the broadcast if you just joining us. Invite your friends and let us discuss it all together. Liberia first and Liberia live.
Let me live my life, yeah. I want to drive my life. I want to do that.
Yeah, 2 more beautiful Liberian music, and right after that, live in our discussion. No time to waste. There's just the intro to welcome you all. You know, sometimes we have to vibe to Liberian music, right? Our Liberians are doing great job from our Liberian musicians out there.
International DJ Gully. They say music up. Turn me up, let's go. One time, turn it out, let's go. What's up with you? You're talking, they say you won't be a good copper. They tune for Jaja, on the Tuma, they wouldn't Kenya. They don't wanna bless you, you can tell from a lot you're not person. I'm gonna break your heart up, would you ever see your spot up? When Jago say hello, then you won't call it mojo. If you get down, your friend is just jello. I see to my head, I see the you're too much away, whatever. I say, international DJ Gully. They say music up. Turn me up, let's go. One time, turn it out, let's go. What's up with you? You're talking, they say you won't be a good copper. They tune for Jaja, on the Tuma, they wouldn't Kenya. They don't wanna bless you, you can tell from a lot you're not person. I'm gonna break your heart up, would you ever see your spot up? When Jago say hello, then you won't call it mojo. You buy you get down, your friend is just jello. I see to my head, I see the you're too much away for you. I say you get good, you. Get to my better house for you. For you. I get down.
Yeah, Liberian music all day. Like I said, share the broadcast, my people. Invite your friends and let's have a wonderful discussion tonight because it's going to be so fascinating as we discuss national issues about our country, Liberia. Today happened to be the 28th day in the month of August 2022. Yeah. Approximately 3 more days to go at the end of August. We'll be going to a brand new month, September. Here we come. Here to now politically charged. So trust me, man, you're going to get all the best from me tonight. I am politically charged. I'm going to release a political blessing out there to our people, our audience. Yeah, trust me, my people. Tonight, a fire. Fire was a fire. Liberian music all day. Right after this one, then we go live in our discussion. No time to waste, my people. Yeah, just keep sharing the broadcast.
I just wanna see you dancing. Give me your mama. 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 I just wanna see you dancing. Just keep on dancing. I just wanna see you dancing.
Yeah, at the end of the music, we go live in our discussion. As you can see from our screen here, our panelists are already on well seated to discuss the issues about Liberia. Put Liberia first and put Liberia last in everything we do. Yeah, the little Ricky Hodge, a Liberian mulatto musician on this track. Yeah, gonna lead us in our discussion, my people. No time to waste. We already have 18 minutes past 9 p.m. South Korea time, and that's the exact time to discuss the issues right now. Yeah, I love music, man, and hope I had time that I could take an hour or 30 minutes playing Liberian music all day. But we will find a specific time for entertainment on the Diaspora Talk that we can play you beautiful Liberian music and you all can vibe to.
Away from me, I
Okay, my people. He's saying that in here then say they want him go. The person that won't go is President George Manawia. Gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon or good evening to our audience and everyone following us. The Massacres. I mean, you guys, welcome to the show. How you guys doing? Good morning there from US of A and good evening there, Gabriel from Bosan City. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, CEO. Thank you for welcoming. I'm just upbeat and animated about this August 28th edition of the Diaspora Talk. Thank you so much for welcoming me and welcome everybody who usually follow us.
T-Max, how you doing there, my brother?
Well, good morning, see you. Good morning from my end, Gabriel. I mean, it's great to be back in their life, another day. You know, every morning you wake up, you tell the woman, thank you for another life you have lived. But it's great to be here. I'm excited and fascinated to be here to discuss one of these important issues about our country. But thank you again, see you.
Okay, so first let me, yeah, gentlemen, I mean, that's good to hear, you know, and it's good to also thank you, I think, for giving us a chance to see another wonderful day. Yeah, so let me just announce to our audience. Right now, you can be able to get on 3 different platforms. That's the Asia Premium platform, the Diaspora Talk, and then also on YouTube, you can get us there with Diaspora Talk. So it's very easy now. We're trying to make it very easy to our audience. We'll try going to Instagram, Leaky, and Twitter, and other platforms that you can find the Diaspora Talk everywhere. So you can log on to the Asia Premium platform on Facebook Live. You're going to find us there also discussing the issues. You can also be with us here on the Diaspora Talk, or you can also find us on YouTube. Diaspora Talk, we are there streaming live right now. So, gentlemen, firstly, let me just send this information to us all because our guest prophet Key supposed to be on tonight, but he sent out communication that he's begging us. This is a platform that he cannot actually make it to be here tonight, but next week he's gonna be on because you know he was just on Spoon FM yesterday. So I was just thinking, as well as Spoon FM, maybe they saw our flyer also. They said, no, that hard man for that ain't gonna discuss. So yeah, they had a long conversation on the Spoon Talk. And also too, you know, he have a regular show too on the Sunday, which is the same time, and some other tech, you know, schedule to, you know, that he trying to be able to manage or arrange, so he could not be on tonight. So he really begged me. We had almost an hour conversation talking about coming on the show, and he said, "But man, this is my platform, and trust me, I'll be there next week Sunday." So sorry to our audience there, even though the flyer is out there, and the prophet cannot be on tonight, but he's gonna be on next week Sunday. So I mean, it's never still late. We've been having the prophet on for a long period. He always coming on the platform. This is platform, and we have to respect, the other activities too that he have ongoing. So, nevertheless, with no time to waste, gentlemen, I mean, we just go directly into our discussion tonight. Because trust me, I mean, it's gonna be, like fire tonight. Like I said, I'm politically charged, and I have some political blessing to give out there to our audience and those candidates, prospective candidate, for representative, senator, or whatever president, if they come on the diaspora talk to them, they receive the political blessing from me. Trust me, they might be victorious. Who knows? So, Timas and Gabriel, the first thing we want to touch tonight, that I want us to touch tonight, is about those 3 criminals that have been on sanction, by the United States government. So, my question here to us all: what is the Liberian government waiting for to prosecute these guys? Because we all saw the letter from Nathaniel Magay asking the government of Liberia to give him due process, right? He wants due process. So that means he asking time in court. So I think we expected the Liberian government, after our partner, our godfather, the US of A, come out to say, okay, you know what? We sanction these 3 guys for criminal activities, for embezzling, for stealing the Liberian people money. So we place them on sanction. So what we expected from our president, at least to come out to say, okay, you know what? America is like a godfather to us. I think let me see how best we can communicate with the United States government to have those information, those evidence, so we can compile it and have this guy fired and also have them behind bars. But there's nothing we are hearing from our president. We are talking about these guys going to court, or they got to go investigate them and exercise. All we saw is just suspension. So, gentlemen, you guys think the suspension is enough, or what we expect better from the Liberian government, from our president? Let's start with you, T-Max. Are you there, T-Max?
Let's start with you. Yeah. I was trying to mute my monitor. Okay. Are you guys getting me?
You are loud and clear, my brother.
Yeah, audible.
All right. Yeah. CEO, thank you for that question. We have to be very honest with how we treat our people. We're talking about corruption here, and it's unfortunate in Africa when we talk about corruption, people tend to link it with friendship and familyship and all of that. But I think with the move that was made by the US based on constant evidence of how these guys were mismanaging funds and the kind of activities they were involving, I think it's a wake-up call for the president. I expected those guys to be fired, even if they were supposed to receive due process. But at that point, they should be fired, because this is something that is also going to have a record on his government. And one of the individuals who were very close to the president, day in, day out, was with the president, got sanctioned. So he got sanctioned, and that tells you that even the president himself is being watched by the international community. I mean, it's something that he should wake up from. And suspending these guys, I think, is a joke. They should be fired, and then if they are asking for due process, they can go on with the due process. Well, if it is something they themselves out of, then we can look at it for the future. But for the kind of allegation, I think it should be fired. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you, there, T-Max. So, what do you, Gabriel? I mean, I just want to ask this question like the Gabriel. Maybe you can also try to respond to similar question that I asked T-Max. But I mean, help the public to understand, Nathaniel Magay is the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. If you have any idea on his jobs, title? You know, what's his position, or what exactly should he be doing in the country?
Oh, really? I think Nathaniel McGill serves as the president or the head of all cabinet ministers for the president. And I mean, he is I mean, that man is the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. He governs all the activities of the president and things like that. So I would like to say, so let me just jump up to the question you just asked, Mr. Masakwe.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
yeah, let me just say that I think from the attitude of the president, we can say that the president is either trying to tolerate or trying to play a laissez-faire approach when it comes to the sanction issue. Let me tell you something. I see Mr. Mangill writing a letter. I don't know whether he's writing a rebuttal to the U.S. government, because I know that cannot be the case, or he's just writing it to appeal his base, or just appeal to President George Weah. But let me tell you something. The U.S. government does not just come up and just wage or open up a blanket allegation on you. They know the consequences and ramifications of lying on someone or trying to taint somebody's character. So most of the things that are done are scientific. They go through the scientific approach. It's not by hearsay. It's not by they say. They go through the scientific approach. They look at your lifestyle. They look at what you do. They look at your interaction with people. They look at your bank statement, and they follow paper trails. They look at investigation. They ask people questions before they come up with the kind of allegation. So I think if the president really meant business, all he would have done, number one, is either ask those guys to recuse themselves of their position and just launch a speedy investigation, a very speedy investigation. And if any of them are hooked of any of the crime, they should be prosecuted publicly. They should be prosecuted. Let people know. I mean, let people know that the corruption we are all frowning at, the president is seriously against it. But with the laissez-faire approach he's taking, just suspending people, and they see suspended individuals are behind him on campaign trail. We are seeing, even though the president, according to the report, they said anyone who is caught doing business with them or anyone who is caught, associating with them, they didn't say are exposing themselves with sanction. I mean, the president is just ignoring all of those things. He's just ignoring them. And we are seeing him going around with the suspended, let's say, or sanctioned individuals. So I just believe that this is a laissez-faire approach. The president is not giving any credence to this. I mean, he's not giving any. He's not taking it to be serious. But again, I'm disappointed in the opposition. I'm disappointed in the opposition. This kind of things, the opposition should not sit there and allow President Weah to dictate to them or to just trivialize these things. They should come out and demand the president to take actions. But they are sitting there, they are not doing anything. They should demand the president to take action. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you there, Gabriel. Thank you so much.
Let me try to connect my PC. 1 minute.
Yeah, but you good to go, my man. We hearing you. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. The thing is, this is what we need to understand, right? We're trying to break this down, clearly for our audience to understand, because we own the issues of the three criminals that have been on sanction, and then right after that we go to the soup and that of the soup protest, right? I call them criminals because America, when I put you on sanction, when you're a good person. So we starting with Nathaniel McGill. From there we go to Selena Seafors, and then we come to Bill Traore. But there are three important things that we need to understand. America is the godfather for the world. I mean, just say it out with the godfather for the world, because the whole world look up to America for everything. If America say A, the whole world going to follow it, going to be A. When they say B, the whole world going to follow it, be B. That's how America is. America is not just only a godfather like Liberia, but the entire world. Let us understand that clearly. Even with the incident that is going on right now in Ukraine and that of Russia, we know how America, we know the position of America. America did not say anything in that. At the end of the day, nothing would happen. But America strongly stood with those guys, and we saw how far it is going and how far it has gone. So it is like this. Let us understand something. Nathaniel McGill is like a secretary to the president. That's the job of the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. He's an office boy to the president. He's the secretary just to the president. The work of Nathaniel McGill is centers around activities of the president. The work of Nathaniel McGill has nothing to do with decisions making in the country for companies or for ministries or XYZ. No. He just is secretary. So let us just do away with the minister issue. Let us just look at it from that broad spectrum. He is the secretary to the president. Do all of the paperwork for the president and all of small activities. When people come to see the president, he makes the arrangement for people to see the president. But we have been seeing Nathaniel McGill engaging into so many other activities that in the country. Decisions making is being held by Nathaniel McGill. The president no more function as a president. Nathaniel McGill is just holding the position as a minister of state for presidential affairs, but he does the job like a president. If anybody want to be appointed in that country, and Nathaniel McGill is not aware, trust me, you're on your own. If anything has to do with budget or money business in that country, Nathaniel McGill does not make decisions on that, you're on your own. If people have to be promoted in the country, Nathaniel McGill is not aware or he does not make decisions on that, you're on your own. That's how powerful this guy has been over the period of time. And there is just only one reason why Nathaniel McGill has been so powerful that way, because we have a president who is limited, who does not know his functions. If you have a president who knows his function, he will not sit there and allow his office boy to make decisions for him. He will never sit there and allow his office boy to be able to spearhead a lot of activities that are in the country. Concession agreement being signed by Nathaniel McGill. Whereas we have representatives, we have senators who are chairmen on some of the concession and what have you. You cannot see the signature there, but Nathaniel McGill's signature there. But let me just make this very clear to our president and those that are watching. America could not come out right now to sanction President Weah because why? There could be a lot of political, implication. That's why America did not come out to what? To just, sanction President Weah. It is often said, birds of the same feather fly together. Nathaniel McGill being on sanction today is a warning to President Weah. It tells you that there are a lot of ugly things that have been going on, and there's a lot of things that President Weah is aware of that have been going on, criminal activities and what have you, but they only went and attacked Nathaniel McGill. All the president paperwork is being done in the office of Nathaniel McGill. All his paperwork, all of the people that come and see the president, it passed through Nathaniel McGill's office. So you cannot tell me that all of the things that Nathaniel McGill is doing or have been doing, the president is not aware of it. So that is a broad warning to President Weah. You are not far from sanction. The only reason we could not put you on sanction because it will have some political implication or some international implication also that a president is on sanction by America. So what they try to do, they get to those three people. Those three people are key targets in the government. That's what we need to understand. There are three targets in the government, those three individuals, and we'll try to break it down tonight for our people. With Nathaniel McGill issues, we understand clearly that there is a warning to the president. Mr. President, be aware that we know everything that's ongoing. So we're censoring that man so that you can be able to play your card very well. Be very careful, or else we're going to come for you after. That is the warning right there. So, General, we'll move on to the Solicitor General. Why do you think that There are a lot of government officials there in the country. The Solicitor General, he's the chief prosecutor of the country. But the Minister of Justice is still his boss. Why didn't these guys, the Minister of State or the Public Works or Agriculture or other people be on sanction, but they went for the Solicitor General? Let us talk about that shortly. Let's go to you, T-Max. T-Max, are you there?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Why do you think the Solicitor
You
General?
know,
Okay, got the question right. Go ahead, brother.
right. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, and you was earlier, you were saying the same thing. You know, the way America operates, they follow the paper trail. They follow most of the interaction, right? And these people ask questions to get to facts. The Solicitor General, who's is like you said, there to he's like the chief prosecutor for the government, right? And he's not involved into his legal matters that has to do with the government, but instead he's fully focused on illegal matters and trying to do covered up things that any solicitor general, a good solicitor general, will advise the government, say, listen, we cannot do this because this will have XYZ implication, right? And he will advise them to go ahead. And in fact, he will be in the forefront signing those documents and trying to, do some legal cover up and all of that. And I think that's why he got what he got. It's just all wrapped around corruption. You guys are corrupt. The justice minister is there. He never got sanctioned. But because these guys they were in a close confines of the president, and they had access to the president and direct, authority to do the things that they did. So they didn't care. They were doing things that they know was going to have a kickback, but again, they didn't care. It was all about corruption. They all just wanted to put enough money in their pockets, and that's why he got caught, and that's why he got on that list. Thank you, CEO.
Okay, thank you, there, T-Max. Gibra, I think you got a question. So, what's the response?
Yes. So, before answering your question, let me firstly go just read a paragraph within the sanction. There's a Sema Serena Seaforth is a current Solicitor General and Chief Prosecutor of Liberia. Serena has developed a close relationship with suspects of criminal investigation and has received bribe from individuals in exchange of having their cases dropped. He has received bribe from individuals in exchange of having their cases dropped. Serena Seaforth has worked behind the scenes to establish arrangement with subjects of money laundering investigation to case investigation in order to personally benefit financially. Are we getting there? So when we talk about this of cyber crime or money laundering, the last time I think I listened to a show, they were talking about Konani group of company. They said there was a 419 company that was set up just to do their cyber crime, money laundering something, and they had their connection in Cyprus and other underdeveloped or European nations, and these guys were under investigation. And this same Serena Seaforth guy went and just disrupted the whole thing. I can remember that. I mean, he even got in conflict or in commotion with his secretary, the guy they call Lafayette Good, and they had to sack the guy. You see, so Serena Seaforth got into it, and he made sure that these people cases were dropped. And one of the things the Americans seriously frown at is the thing they call cybercrime and money laundering, because this thing leads to huge economic sabotage. This thing leads to very, very huge economic sabotage. And secondly, did you remember the issue of this woman, Ellen Cochran? Ellen Cochran came to Liberia and she already had a dark cloud on her head. That during the Ellen Johnson government, she ran away from the airport. And, I know 200,000 or 200 something. She had a case on
Right.
on her unresolved issue. And when she came to Liberia, people that are supposed to prosecute her are the people who were mingling with her and trying to shield her from investigation. And we heard a tip how the woman said she and Sema Serena Silva went to a voodoo man trying to kill the case. They went to a herbalist trying to kill the case. So this man has been into the whole thing for himself. He has been shooting criminals. He has been, working to drop cases. And this, I think, and he has not come publicly to deny these things. He has never. Like I tell you, the American government is not just going to come and listen to they say. These people follow scientific investigative approach. Scientific investigative approach. So if you want to rebut them, you want to take them to court, take them to court. The last time, let me tell you something. The issue of Biltrari. There was a time Biltrari had a case in America.
We will get there, Gabriel. Let's finish saying, see when we'll come down to Biltrari. We'll conclude on Biltrari issues. So just save your comment on that, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. So let me stop that for now. So I think we know clearly why Serena Seaforth was hooked by the U.S. sanction. Are you getting me? They may be shooting criminals, cyber criminals.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabriel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have our correspondent there from Liberia, Mr. Wama, for the first time on the Diaspora Talk Live.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome, Mr. Wama. How you doing? How's Liberia? Are you there, Wama?
Thank you.
Okay, good to have you on, man.
Liberia is kind of, from my end, the weather is not really okay today. I hope I'm okay. I hope I'm okay.
You are audible enough. Just go ahead, Flo.
Thank you. The weather is not. I hope my voice is okay.
Yeah, your voice okay, but just I don't know. I'm the only one hearing the sound on the. Let's see the background.
No, I think you have a monitor there. They have their.
Yeah, I think the network is kind of bad on his end.
Man, when the weather is gloomy in Liberia, just forget it. The network. Even you'll be talking to somebody and you.
Wama, if you following us, you can just. Gentlemen, some of you there have a monitor on. Yerima said that from one of you guys. So just have it muted, please. Okay. Yeah, Wama is back on. Yeah, we were hearing you clearly. Go ahead, sir. Sylvester Wama.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, great. The network. The weather's not really okay today. The weather is kind of cool, but yeah, the weather is not really okay today. The weather is kind of bad since this morning. It's been raining, although the rain is not heavy, but it's a kind of rain that when you play around, you can end up getting sick. So it's kind of ugly. But thanks a lot for the show this morning. I think this afternoon from my end, I think it's a very nice show. It's a nice show, and the decision and the discussion is in tight. The issues about politics in Liberia, most especially the issue concerning the sanction government officials, is kind of terrible for our democracy. But they have some. The local people don't really have the clear understandings about this entire sanction. It's one of the terrible things that all of us need to clearly understand to work around. Despite a person being sanctioned, the oppositions are looking at it differently, but all of us ourselves need to clearly understand that these sanctions officials have the impact they have on our government. The government is kind of playing a kind of weak role in terms of taking some national decisions with on these government officials, but they have some locally. Our voters here, they know within themselves that they will vote for that who they want to vote for. I just want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
If you can, I can clearly tell you guys that President Weah still have a better stance in winning this second term. Yeah, I can clearly say that because the oppositions themselves, they are not putting themselves in order to see how best they can come together in winning President Weah the second term. And I can clearly say this for the record: President Weah is a second term president if the opposition continue being the way they are currently.
Yeah, but we will
because they are not united.
I don't want you to rush. I don't want you to jump the gun, right? We will come to that. Yeah, that is one of our discussion too on the list. So we will come to that. We're just talking about the issue of Serena Seaforth. Why isn't they on the list of those three criminals that have been on sanction? Okay, we get Sylvester Wyman back. Yeah, I think we all understand the network situation in Liberia, how crazy it is, and he's trying his best to come on to discuss the issues. So, okay, Gabriel, we heard from you about Serena Seaforth. We heard from you also, T-Max. And let me just make my point on the issue of Serena Seaforth. Then we'll move over to Bill Traore. The reason you see Serena Seaforth is on sanction. Liberian people, let us get this in very clear. Let us get it clearly. The chief prosecutor of a country. You know why he's on sanction? It tells the world how we have a messed up justice system in our country. That's just very clear. The chief prosecutor of a country being on sanction for criminal activities, conniving with criminals. There are some cases that are in your interest and what he benefits from those cases and put it on the table. Just mentioned about the Ellen Crowell case, Gabriel. We all follow that on social media.
Yeah.
The issue also with the ANC or the CPP case, there was some information that leaked within the chat room that was in favor of Alexander Cummings, but he could not have it posted. He could not talk about it simply because he was being stage managed. We also saw the issue with what's his name? What's the guy name? I'm just forgetting his Mandingo brother name from the what's this guy name who won the case against the Liberian government. We all saw that case. Serena Seaforth has cornered his stood. So America have been following over a long period.
Cabinet Janet.
Thank you, Cabinet Janet. The case of Cabinet Janet. We saw how Serena Seaforth stood strong in that case. It was from that case that he got appointed to that position. He was just serving as a lawyer at the time. He was never a solicitor general. I think it was after that case when he became a solicitor general, chief prosecutor of a country. It shows how weak our justice system is. It shows how compromising our justice system is. And that's reality. We all been seeing a lot of things that are going on in the country, and there's no justice. People dying at the end of the day. You can never get a proper accountability. How those things happen? Because we have a criminal solicitor general, a man who only believes in his pocket to benefit himself and his family. He doesn't care about Liberian people. So America did a very good thing, but that's a signal out there to our people, telling us how our justice system is messed up. Tomorrow, if you and I even have a case ongoing there in the country, and Minister, Seaforth surface, my brother, trust me, you finish. Because Serena Seaforth will always go to where he knows he will benefit. That's how that's how he's been classified. It's the kind of a solicitor general Liberia had. And that's why he's on sanction. So we have a president who does not know his job. If we have a wise president, he will try to understand. He will try to comprehend. But why just these three individuals? Look at their position within government and understand their role they play in government, why they have been targeted first. That's what he should look at. So, Serena Seaforth being placed on sanction, it tells our government that we have a messed up justice system. They just have to do their best. They have to hold up so at the end of the day, we can have a better Liberia and so that Liberia can be open to foreigners who come in the country. How can a foreigner who trying to come to Liberia to invest and get to understand our chief prosecutor of the country being on sanction for XYZ reasons? It haven't discouraged. Does that have to do anything with the opposition? No. The people read everything. When you tell somebody, we don't live in Western world. When you tell somebody of their country, the first thing they try to do research on your country, read about your country and XYZ thing. And those news and things will always come out, they'll read about it and try to understand. They will even be telling you about what happened in your country. So on this note, we move to our tier issues on the sanction built.
I see you. I'm cutting you off before we go to the third issue. There's a leaflet circulating the social media that this mayor Musa Ding complained this man Sigma Serena Sifa to the U.S. embassy for his unethical approach, and the U.S. embassy is also refuting that claim that they did not receive any complaint from Musa Ding, and we seen that particular letter with Musa Ding's signature on it. And people are already pointing fingers at Sigma Serena Sifa that he's the one doing those things. So if it is investigated and it comes to light that Sigma Serena Sifa is the one who did that, then he should also be charged for first-degree forgery, for forging the signature of Musa Ding and purporting, for forging the signature of Musa Ding and purporting to be Musa Ding and sending that particular letter to the U.S. embassy, a letter that has already been refuted. They have to They have to really look at it. That is very, very criminal in nature. You can say you are a lawyer and you try to circumvent the law, but I think that noise is from your side.
No, too much. I'm getting it from too much. Yeah, Gabriel, you just said something very important, right? The U.S. government cannot be the one to investigate that. The Liberian government, they are watching. Anything that has to do with forgery should be investigated. And in as much as Musa Ding denied that letter, the U.S. embassy also said that, they are not aware that Musa Ding ever sent any letter of such. That means the Solicitor General is in error. He been carrying on a lot of criminal activities. And this also showed to us that perhaps there are more things that have been going on. There are more documents in the other areas until the Solicitor General has signed on at the end of the day. Or are people thinking that because if he can send a letter to the U.S. embassy claiming that he's the justice minister, that means letters have been going to other places claiming that it is Musa Ding.
Yeah.
So, and we all understand that he and Musa Ding have been having some tussle. Musa Ding have a complaint on him before. But like I said again, Gabriel, when you have a dumb leader, a leader who does not know his function, this thing will continue to occur. Because with this enough, should be able to call for investigation. But where is our president talking about investigation? Where is the LSCC that you should be able to empower right now to investigate a guy? Where is the GSC that he's empowering right now to investigate a guy? Where's the time he's also taking the risk out with our partners, our godfather, the accent? Okay, you know what? We 100% support what you guys have done. But we want you also to help us so that we can be able to clarify everything that you guys say about these people so we can have them prosecuted behind bars, seize their property and XYZ. What's the position of the president right now?
Lincoln, as you currently speak, there's a huge cloud of corruption hanging over Lages right now. And people have been singing this song over and over, but the president is still dragging a foot and giving blind eye to it. So it only tells you that the man, he cares nothing about. The only reason for which you see the president taking the action is probably maybe because of his pending trip, December trip to the U.S. He don't want for the people to think otherwise. I think I'm hearing myself,
Yeah, somebody have a monitor on. Somebody have a monitor on. Get in the mute, have it muted also.
Yeah. So
okay, Tima is muted. Give her the mute from you. Because for me, everything here is muted. Everything from my end is just muted.
I think it's okay now. It's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah. So look at the agriculture ministry. Up to now, that woman has never recused herself, even though she was indicted by the LACC. Then look at. Okay, in fact, this guy made a startling revelation. This guy they call Charles Maatogu, before even this guy was sanctioned. Bill Traore. He said there was a 419, there was a sweeter company, created by Bill Traore, and they were using it to unload goods. Between Bill Traore, this guy, Kanyo Bagbala, all the revelation, the boy came on Spoon Radio and said those things. What did the president say about it? So it just means that all the corruption, the guys are doing it with the consent and acquiescence of the president. Nobody should say the president don't know about it. I'm just sorry for people who say people are just in the government, they just want to support the president government, they just want to support the main government. The president is in the know about these things that are happening. Because if I am not in the know, I will detest. I will do things to really for people to know that I'm against those things. But everything he does is almost like embracing the people, trying to pamper them for them to do more. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. When you have a president who does not know his function, who does not understand his job, who does not understand the prima facie of a president, that's what you get. Natana Magi have been doing very well for the president because the president does not know his function. That's why Natana Magi have been doing all the job for the president, making decisions, appointing, and making signing documents and what have you. Natana Magi have been doing everything for the president. Now the president cannot fire Natana Magi because he know at the end of the day when he fire McGill, what's going to happen? McGill will
spill the beans.
So he's afraid. That's why you see it's on sanction. Why you think the president cannot call for investigation directly for these guys? Because he know his hands also in the cookie's job. But let's move on to Bill Traore so that we can run quickly to the 2023 election because trust me, we will not spend longer time here tonight. We have to give our audience the time to participate. Gentlemen, the MD, the managing director for the Gateway to Liberia economy. That's how the Freeport is called. The gateway to Liberian economy. It's like the entrance. The Freeport is the entrance to Liberian economy. Why is the MD the man who managed the port, the National Port Authority and all other ports in Liberia? He's the head. Why is he being placed on sanction? Let's go to UT Max.
Thank you, Lincoln. When our correspondent Sylvester was just on here with us, he struck something that was very important about these sanctions. It's unfortunate that our people in Liberia, I don't know how well they understand what's going on, and also the media. I don't know how well the media is educating the Liberian people on what's happening in the country in terms of corruption and what the international community, the stance they are taking. Because when one man said, George Weah, President Weah is still the strongest force in the country come the next election, it is concerning because it means that all these things that are going on, 75 to 85% of our population don't even understand what's going on because apparently they're only fighting for their daily bread every day and not concerned about what's going on in their country. The people who are making them to suffer, what are they getting punished? Our people are not understanding those things. So I just want to strike that point before we go to Bill Traore. But Lincoln, like I said again from the earlier stage, the U.S., the police, most of these countries around the world, if not almost all, and they have their embassies or consulate in those countries because they are there monitoring most of the activities of government, how government operates, how they caring for their country and their people. They watch those things. So Bill Traore is somebody who's like Gabriel was saying, Charles MacArthur, who was the manager for the Buchanan Port, right? When they had that, when they suspended him and he was due for investigation or whatever, when he left the country, he said a lot of things about Bill Traore in terms of corruption and how many money that was running through Bill Traore, millions of dollars that he was, taking and diverting his personal use and personal account. And, you also strike a point, Lincoln. The president should be in the know of all of these things. Because if you're a president, you have regular cabinet meetings, you sometimes visit these agencies, ministries, you go there and speak to workers and look at records of what's going on. And if you would tell me that these guys will be doing on those kind of huge corruption, not even like, oh, okay, $1,000 to you're talking about millions of dollars running through that port on a daily basis. Those are areas you as a president supposed to focus your attention on and make sure that things are going the right way, because that's why the economy of a country. Those are one of the resources. Those are one of the places we get our income from in terms of building our country economy. And you sit there and send somebody to go manage those places, and they're doing all this corruption and people talking about it, and you can't even try to investigate. So it's funny that the LACC and all of these auditing commission and agencies in Liberia, they're just there for a joke, because I don't think they understand that it is their job to audit these people and put reports out. But they like, again, the government will not support those kind of entities, because they're not interested in people fighting corruption. They're not interested in it. So Bill Tribal, he's a criminal. He's been a criminal. He's been involved in a lot of criminal cases from that port. A lot of illegal entry of things in that country back and forth have been highly supervised by Bill Tribal. So the U.S. was right. People saw those things. People said those things over time. And the U.S. went after them, did their own private investigation, and they got to the truth. So whatever they're saying about, oh, go with the need of fair trial, the fair trial my foot, like, they need to be fired and placed behind bars. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you, Nathan Max. Let's go to you, Gabriel. You got a question already? Bill Tribal. Why is he being placed on sanction? He managed.
Yeah, I think the reason for sanctioning Bill Tribal is vivid in the sanction report. I mean, it said Traore orchestrated the diversion of 1.5 million in vessels storage fees from the NPA to his private account. Are you getting me? He diverted 1.5 million of our money to a private account. I think by now the Liberian people, sometimes we just feel that Liberians are so passive. I mean, it's almost like they say, when you not beat the child, beating can scare the child again. So anything you do now, the child is just numb, the child is just sitting there, and anything will happen, let it happen. But right now, should Bill Tribal be sleeping at his house? There should be a very huge protest to demand the man. Because the U.S. government cannot come and make this kind of revelation with the kind of exact amount, 1.5 million, you diverted it from storage form to a private account. And up to now, nobody is rich, nobody is angry, nobody is saying anything about it. And that's why when Sylvester said the Liberian people themselves don't know the ramification or the consequences of this particular sanction. They don't know. They say Traore secretly formed a private company through his position at the NPA, and later unilaterally awarded a contract of loading and unloading cargo at the Buchanan port. Marcato said it. He said Bill Traore, Kanyo Bagbada, they formed their own company, as I previously stated here, right at the Buchanan port there, to load and unload. They didn't go through any PPCC. I mean, this time said the public procurement concession is of no use. They bypass the whole system. These guys are just doing things, I mean, by themselves. They are not following any rules. They are not following any laws. So these are some of the reasons for which Bill Tribal was sanctioned. And up to now, we have the president. We know how laissez-faire things are. Don't be surprised that these sanctioned guys will still be on payroll. And let me tell you something. I blame the Liberian government again. Here's why President Weah is thinking. Some people are saying someone can be sanctioned, but they can still have political influence. We are seeing people who have been sanctioned, but they are still being look at Joe Bully. What the U.S. government did to Joe Bully? They drove. I mean, Joe Bully left the U.S. and he came to Liberia. He went in his hometown and he got elected. Now we have a former warlord and a man who was told to leave the U.S. Now he's in Liberia and he is in the legislature. Look at Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson was sanctioned. And don't be surprised that Prince Johnson might even win election. And people might even work with that sanctioned senator in order to gain some political relevance. So the people themselves don't know the consequences of these sanctions. They will still work along with some of the people who have been sanctioned because they feel that these people still have influence in their various political constituents. So it is, President Weah is doing all these things are just political calculation. Nathaniel Mangue has started resonating with the people of Ban County. When he go there, he shares money. More people love him, and President Weah think that during election he can go there and win a crowd for him. So he don't want to put Nathaniel Mangue aside. So he don't want for people to see Nathaniel Mangue as a criminal. This allegation that have been on Nathaniel Mangue, the president just want for all to trivialize it. That's why they are saying no investigation, nothing, everything from the U.S. Okay, the U.S. has said its own, but why can't you go and counter it? Go and counter it. Go to the court. So I would just say Bill Traore being sanctioned by the U.S. government is of nothing, surprising, because Child my other good said it. I listened to that boy on Spoon TV, and after that, I didn't hear anything from the president. He was not called to be investigated or asked to recuse himself from the position and be investigated. Then I knew that the country was already, going downhill. The president didn't mean well for Liberia. Because if you say someone bypassed the PPCC, the public procurement concession, and went and unilaterally built his own company to be loading and unloading goods from the port of Buchanan, somebody said that, and you just sit and trivialize it, he stay in his position. Go to River Cess. Go see the kind of thing the man is doing there just for the coming election. The man is building houses just for the coming election. Tell me, where is he getting the money from? The last time we talked about lifestyle audit here, somebody is working making $4,000-$5,000, but the person is there building private houses. Where is he getting all the money from? Then when it's sanctioned, then you start talking about, no investigation. Your second see the broad deal corruption. Where is he getting the money from to be building private homes just to gain political relevance in his constituent? So I think the American government is trying to rescue Liberia from the unpatriotic Liberians. Because if they don't do it, my brother, the country will go down. The country will go down because everyday corruption, somebody will just get out, they get angry. One day people go by in the bush. So the people have to put check to this. They have to checkmate this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabriel. Let me just say this, right? The U.S. government sanction is just like an advice to that government. Because the U.S. government sanction, there is no prosecution behind the sanction. The sanction of the three government officials does not mean they're going to go to prison. Does not mean they're going to go to jail. Does not mean they're going to seize their property. The sanction then just telling the world that these guys are corrupt. We cannot do business with them, and we cannot allow them into our country. So if we read and understand the sanction of the U.S. government, it's not for prosecution. But the U.S. government sanction is like a recommendation to any country or any government. We are recommending to you that these guys are criminal. They need to be behind bars. The American government doesn't have the power to come and imprison Nathaniel Mangue or Serena. They do not. But the sanction then, telling the world that these guys are criminal, don't do business with them because we ourselves will not allow them in our country. That's what the sanction is about. It's a recommendation. So when you have a smart leader who knows his job, will always do the right thing, will try to cooperate, coordinate with his godfather and have this guy prosecuted. But like I said, if President Weah tried to prosecute Nathaniel Mangue and these guys, it will be like he prosecuted himself. He cannot run from it. We also talk about the money, extra money are being printed by the past government. That case was in court. Selena Seafors were gallivanting around social media and using jargons and making some noise and what have you. Where did that case go at the end of the day? It been compromised because what? He was being paid. He received huge amount of money on that aspect. And where is Charles Slave today? He's also free. So that's why I don't even want people to talk about why Ellen didn't go after Ellen. We all saw what Ellen did when she came to power. Ellen did not spare Judy Bryant, who was the chairman for the interim government at the time before she became president. We all saw what happened. She dragged into court days after day. She did not rest until Judy Bryant passed off. We all understand that. So what did the CDC government do to Ellen? Ellen's son, at the end of the day, what happened? It was being compromised because the Solicitor General, he was in charge of that case. Chief prosecutor. Where did the case go? It's a dead case today. Charles Salif is all around enjoying himself with his wife, all on Facebook and what have you. You know, the reason that Bill Traore is on sanction, that's why we need to understand the Liberian people. The Liberia free port is the gateway to our economy. And when the head of that area being placed on sanction for criminal activities, it tells you that our country now has been a gateway to criminal activities. That just, you know, it's just simple understanding that we need to understand all of these sanctions, the three targets. National market sanction is telling us that the president is not functioning well, he does not know his job, and he has somebody who running the office on a criminal level. Solicitor General being on sanction tells that we have a very lazy and weak, compromising justice system. The port director being on sanction tells the world or tells people how criminal activities is the order of the day in our country. Because the free port of America is the free port of Liberia is a gateway to our economy.
And then economic system parallel, brother.
Thank you. It tells you, and our the manager there be on sanction. It tells you that Liberia at the end of the day is the gateway to criminal activities. That's just what it tells us all. We don't need rocket scientists to explain these things to us to understand. That's just what it tells us. Imagine Bill Traore having companies and awarding contract to the companies that he's transferring $1 million+ United States dollar to a personal account.
Yeah.
Illegal things are coming in the country with no accountability because the man is the manager of the port. Anything I learn on that port, he will tell people, you know what?
Well, Lego, let me ask you a question. I'm cutting you off. What else is the president waiting for to take action? What else is he waiting for?
Gabriel, the president also is being caught in a cookies jar. He will not. How does Bill Traore call himself?
Bakugbe Jr.
Thank you. So you think you can prosecute your junior and your junior will not expose you? The junior will definitely expose you. So that's the fear right now of the president. That's what I'm making us to understand from the beginning.
And by rep or CEO, look, if that man, if President Weah was a very good president, and Lewe had a president, the moment that man call himself Bakugbe Jr., you fire him because that nepotism real water, you my son. So why you working in my government for? That nepotism.
Gabriel,
a big man that look at himself, call himself, you know, Bakugbe Jr. just for proximity, just for him to be the president to gain some kind of relevance.
You have a president who is not committed, who is not committed as one. You have a president who does not have experience. You have a president who is not mature. You have a president who does not know anything about leadership. That's what happened. Throughout the soccer career of President Weah, he was never a leader. He having an individual skill is different from having a leadership skill. President Weah served as a technical director of the Liberian Lone Star. Where did he take Liberian Lone Star? We all understand at the end of the day there have been some favoritism, there have been some nods and what have you on the Liberian Lone Star from the record. But yet and still, Liberian Lone Star have best players. He was even one of the best players. We have the James Aiza Diba, we have the Frank Sita, we have we have all of the best players at the end of the day. Those guys coordinated themselves to do the right thing at the end of the day. Do you think it was Joria influence that made the Liberian Lone Star to be one of the best at the time? No. Nobody should give him that glory. He did not do a damn thing for the Liberian Lone Star. The man lacked leadership ability. That's why these three guys have been on sanction. He cannot come out to say anything because he embarrassed him. It's in the cookie's job. If he tried to prosecute these three guys, trust me, my brother, information going to come up. On our break, I will play the short audio of Eugene Falcon, what he's frustrated. We all know Eugene Falcon, how frustrated he is right now. He lost his job, lost his family, lost a bank account, lost a business, everything in his life. He's crying right now on his knees that he cannot campaign for a CDC government who does not want to pay him for campaign. He realized that he had been given a useless job, which of course he did not benefit, and he's not going to campaign for those who riding for the $5,000 car or who eating lobsters and whatever XYZ. So on this note, we'll draw the curtain on the issues of the suspension. I mean, the suspended government officials that are on sanction. These guys are criminal. President, we are just showing the world how limited he is, how he's not a right leader. And if the Liberian people don't think wisely to see how best they can govern themselves to be able to find a better leader that will lead our country to success, trust me, we'll be going to another 6 years of devastation. So on this note, gentlemen, let's move quickly. The SUP, I mean the SUP, that the Student Unification Party and the Free Position Movement that is headed by Prophet Key had a successful protest. We will not dwell on that much because Prophet Key is not on tonight. We apologize again to our audience that Prophet Key could not come on due to some other personal issues. So we'll have him on next week Sunday as he promised. So let's go right away to 2023 election. Gabriel, 2023 election is just closer. T-Max 2023 election is just closer. We all saw the tension being placed on the three government officials, how effective it is, how affecting this tension is to the CZ government. And at the end of the day, again, we also saw that the Liberty Party and ANC just had an endorsement. Documents were being signed. And these guys are still into the collaboration. We also saw recently again from Yombi Kanga Lawrence printing t-shirts with photos on it and for sale. So, I mean, we kind of confused. After the CDC got confused with the sanction, now the opposition is confusing themselves. 2023 election is very closer. Who do you think you're going to support 2023 and why are you going to support that person? Or if the CDC government still has chance to lead Liberia for another 6 devastated years? Is that what we are saying here tonight? Let's hear you, T-Max.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. I mean, before I go ahead, I would like to continue to remain neutral for my political future. So I support with based on situation dynamics is, but I chose to keep that private for now. To be honest with you, I think Sylvester was very, very much blunt because he's on the ground, he's seeing what's going on. The level of division that was carried on with the opposition for the past months, I think it have hampered them a lot, and if not crippled them for the upcoming election. I don't know how they still have time, but I'm strongly of the conviction that President, we are still a better chance than what the opposition is doing. Because when it had the CPP going on with the unity, you saw what happened during the senatorial election and the representative election. The opposition, they scored a very high mark because of that level of unity they had. But when these Cummings and Boakai things started to rage, I think the president or the ruling establishment used that situation to even build a base and to foster their objective aims to different people. So the opposition got a lot of work to do. They should not be comfortable sitting there and thinking that somebody is just going to walk in Liberia and win President We are out of doing the second phase of election in the country. So I think the opposition have a lot of work to do. For me, one of my biggest thing is unity. They need to find a way to unite to be able to face President Weah. Thank you. See you.
Okay, thank you, that thing, give her the same question goes to you, my brother.
All right, thank you so much, CEO. For me, I'm not neutral in the case. I'm exclusively for the opposite. Yeah. I'm not neutral in the case. For where Liberia, for where the country is right now, I think we need to take a side and make the side known. And I can say I'm exclusively for the opposition. Initially, I'm somehow specifically, I'm somehow, rooting for the presidency of Joseph Newman Boakai. But with the way things are growing, it's like, I mean, I will be comfortable with anyone wins in the opposition. If Kumi wins, as long as it is not President We are here who is going to be in the mansion for the next 6 years, I will be comfortable with it. As long as, and one of the good things about the opposition is that, I mean, just forget about the confusion saying that they cannot hold together, there's no unity. But when you see the opposition, the opposition is made of people, with experience. Look at Kumi. Kumi has a very huge experience, within the private sector. He has worked in the private sector for a very global company. Waka has experience for the 2 year experience in government. He has no tainted record, no corruption, nothing. Nothing is he. In fact, he is incorruptible. He has worked in a corrupt regime, and there's no stain of corruption. Look at Gonglo. We call him Mr. Ethics. You getting me? So the opposition is made of level-headed people, professional people. So I wouldn't mind if anybody in the opposition wins. Specifically, I'm for Joseph Newman Boakai, but I wouldn't mind if Congo wins. I wouldn't mind if Musa. Sorry for becoming called. I wouldn't mind if this man Edis Kumi wins or this Joseph Boakai wins. But again, does the opposition stand a chance of kicking President Weah from the presidency? I would say the opposition initially during the CPP, when they actually held together, they were very strong. They were very, very strong. The opposition, that's it, the CPP was that one gun, that one bazooka to dislodge George Weah from the mansion. But since the opposition splitted, I can tell you, even within the same opposition, there are bitterness. There are some people, even if Boakai goes second round, they'll prefer staying neutral and keep their vote. They wouldn't want to vote for Boakai because of that court case. There are some people within the UP, even if this mayor Kumi goes second round, they might not want to vote for Kumi because they feel that, I mean, most ANC people, they condescend on people. They take themselves to be the most educated people. They look down on people. They take themselves to be perfect, and they call other people corrupt. So, at that, I think the only thing we need to do is to get together as opposition to form a very formidable force. And let me say this. Let me do this as a very free advice, to Mr. Kumi. I don't care what people will say or how people will analyze it. My brother, I have been listening to polls. I have been following the trends. Let me tell you something. Liberian people, mostly, if you see someone ranking over and over and over and over and over, just wait for election time. That person might either come first or second. I'm trying to tell you, some people vote based on popularity. They will just come and say, who you carrying? Oh, that man carrying that man that we were talking about. And Boakai, yes. And this. So we are saying that the two competitive forces within the whole within the whole political arena are Joseph Boakai and this man, the President George Manuel Weah. Mr. Kumi still has edge in his favor. Right now, I mean, He's not the real competitive force to go against President Weah based on the polls. They decided no. Kumi is not really competitive to go against President Weah. Sending Kumi against President Weah in 2020 election, it almost be like sending the Lone Star team to go and play Barcelona in Spain. And you know how humiliating that particular game will end. Because Kumi does not have the popularity. So what I believe he should drive his ego and align with a more stronger force in order to get this thing done. If even Kumi become VP, my brother, he proximity to the presidency might even help in 2029 to become president. Because Boaga like one man. Boaga like one-time president. A one-time president, let me tell you something. Boaga is one-time president. If Kumi just drop an ego and go VP to that man, he's already near the presidency. 2029, he can run and become the president. He's already the VP. But if Kumi lost the chance, let me tell you seriously, if Kumi just lost the chance and either Boaka win or this mayor or George Weah win, his chances of becoming president is very, very slim in 2029 because you know what? There are other competitive forces that will come up. Young people will come up. Young people will come up and they might also compete with Mr. Kumi. So I think right now he has the political clout. He has managed. One of the good things I like about Kumi is that he has managed to resonate his whole message with the people in the diaspora. Kumi gets people in the diaspora. But what is affecting him is that the same message that has resonated with the people in the diaspora has never resonated with the people, the real voters in Liberia. Every poll you do, let's say Joseph Bagala come first, this man here, President Weah can second, Mr. Kumi can't tell. Sometimes you even can't distant tell. So I'm saying that we have to be realistic sometimes in this life, my brother. One of the things that is very, very embarrassing our political figures is that they are not realistic. You have to ask yourself, what is running in my mind to become president? Is it congruent with the current reality on ground? I want to be president, but is this thought of being the president in alignment with what's on the ground? What am I seeing? Are people rooting out for me? Am I resonating with is my message resonating? So then you have to be realistic, my brother. I can be in South Korea. I have left Liberia for a very long time. Someone can tell me, say, my man Gabriel, my man, you can't better about you become our representative or you become my brother. I have to be realistic to myself to know whether I have left South Korea, I have left Liberia for years. Whether when I go back, I start running, I will win. Kumi has to be realistic. He has to be very, very much realistic and say, otherwise, he will spend another 5 million in the election and he might come distant for. And 2029 election, there are other competitive young guys that are coming. And who knows? His career might end. So there is the time to get himself near the presidency. There is the time to become a VP president. That's it. Or this man is going one time. Joseph Baga is going one time. You already VP, you start running your knee, running all everything. You getting me? So I'm saying this: the people have to drop that ego and make sure they work together. Otherwise, I mean, President Weah will win again. Like the guy said, they have to drop that ego. I'm not cutting you all. Or I'm sorry if I becoming a little bit lengthy on this. Let me tell you something. Liberian people suffer from two things. They suffer from instant gratification and short-termism. Instant gratification, that is, I mean, if they need a rest today, you provide a rest, you are a good man. They forget about all the bad things you did to them. They instantly need something. That's one of the reasons for which, politicians keep them poor. They keep them poor for a very long time. So they give them one bag of rest. They say, oh, man, the mayor are good men. Oh. The short-termism is that, I mean, the people forget about all the 6 years, the corruption, whether Nathaniel Magre stealing, twice stealing, he diverted road fund money. They will forget about it. Within that particular election year, that 1 month, all the money that will be flowing, those are the things that will guide people's decisions. So we cannot say that we'll be talking about sanction. We believe that the sanction will handicap CDC. It might handicap them, but the people themselves, as soon as you start giving them back already, they will follow you. So we just got to be careful. Thank you so much, CEO.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you so much, Shalit. You have put a lot of time to make out of your point. It's very important, for every one of us to be able to make our individual points on how we feel about politicians in our country and we side to go on. everybody entitled to their own personal views or personal comments. But there is one important thing that I want us to understand, right? Every individual in our country have the right to say, I want to be president. It's not because you will come out and say, okay, my man, you can be president, you can be vice president. Now listen to you to say, yeah, I'll go be vice president. No, I don't have to. I don't have to go by what you want me to be. Mr. Alexander Cummings is a Liberian, and I think he have the right to say he want to be president. He have the right to say he want to be president for the country. Just say Yimon Bwaka also is a Liberian. He also have the right to say he want to be president of the country. But we all understand in Africa, it is only a president that can make a unilateral decision. We saw what Mary Broad tried doing during the alien government time, and even up to the Just Real time. But she still cannot make any positive impact in the country. Because with all the great work Mary Broad did that Jefferson Koji saw, he could not or cannot even still try to continue the great work she did when she was the city mayor of Monrovia. When she also worked out the passport section, the present passport director cannot also still continue the same work she did. She worked at Ministry of Health where she was there as helping people to get their birth certificate. Those in charge cannot still continue the same good work she was doing. We all admire her leadership ability. Trust me, if Mary Broad was a president for Liberia who could make a great and immense change and be able to have some oversight responsibility on those ministries, companies, and what have you, the right thing could have been done. So Mr. Alexander Cummings is right that he don't want to be a vice president when he was going in coma. Because as a vice president, you are automatically a dummy to the president.
No.
Gabriel, the reason I'm saying automatically you are a dummy, even in the House of Senate, you do not make any decision except when there is a tie through voting before the vice president come in. How often have we heard or seen impact of vice president in our country? How often have we seen that? So it is very clear. So Mr. Cummings wanting to be president of Liberia because he want to make a great change. He believes
I understand, CEO, but he had to be realistic. He has to be realistic. I'm sorry.
Very quiet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that Kumi has to be realistic.
Sorry, you don't have to be sorry, Gabriel. Just give me 2 minutes, please.
Okay, you do your go ahead, brother.
Yeah,
but CEO, let me just make one thing clear. You know, I've associated with you for a very long time. And I don't know you to be a coward. I don't know you to be a coward, CEO. I'm coming 1 minute.
No, but I cannot do like Gabriel. Then you hijacking me, Gabriel.
Go ahead.
You had a lot of time to make all of your points.
You ask about our position. We not know your own position. You
make it clear that you support Joseph Nyimon Bwaka, and I'm just only giving an options.
Who are you for?
I'm for Liberia. Liberians in totality.
No, specifically now. Be specific.
I'm being specific, Gabriel. I'm telling you.
No, I said I'm for Joseph Nyimon Bwaka, but I wouldn't mind if anyone from the opposition wins.
Yeah, the only reason why right now I won't make it very clear that I'm for a special person because all of the other candidates have not yet come up with their running mates.
But you talk more of Kumi than other people, so it's that you are siding with Kumi. That's what I'm trying to say.
You talk more of Kumi when you are making your points. So I'm only just trying to make some clarity and try to give some examples why it is important that Kumi said he want to be president of Liberia because he believes that when he's president, he's going to make a change. Because when you're a senator, a representative, you cannot make a change for the whole nation. It is the president who can help to make a great change. For example, in Africa, we know the great story of Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana. We know the great story from from Burkina Faso. What's the name? What's the guy name from Burkina Faso? Thomas Sankara. We also know the late Gaddafi. Those were presidents who make impact in their country. How many times have you heard of a senator, a minister, or a director that impacted in their country? We heard of Nelson Mandela, who made a great impact in South Africa. So, Mr. Comey is right when he said he want to be a president to make change in the country. He's an individual. He's a Liberian. So we should respect his view also. But my point here is, we already know the running mate told President Joshua with Joy Howard Taylor. She reconfirmed that recently. But with all of those guys that have been listed with Joseph Nyimambuaka, we are also hearing of Augustine Bay Gafuan. We are also hearing about what's her name? Yomli Kanga Lawrence. We also hearing about Ben Ayure. And what the Liberian people fail to realize, with those names that are yet listed, those names cannot have Joseph Nyimambuaka successful to become president. The Yomli Kanga Lawrence, we already know that she lacked the leadership ability. Ben Ayure is already off the track. The Gafuan, Augustine Gafuan, and Joseph Nyimambuaka are from the same county. So it is not possible that he could go out running mate to him and then they win the election. Sure. It's going to be important when you come from somewhere different. So with those three people that are listed that we are hearing in the news, cannot get Joseph Nyimambuaka his success. If Mr. Alexander Cummings agree to go at Vice Senator Burr, but we also do not understand the tactics because politicians, they got tactics. Maybe these guys want to go separate ways to be able to spoil the point of the CDC. Then second round, they're going to collaborate. How sure are we that they're going to collaborate come the second round? This time around, Alexander Cummings said the second round now, I will support you because I can't support CDC. But that is what I want, and that is what I want. So we go into agreement. And at the end of the day, when we sign our agreement, I gave you my vote. So how sure are we? I think it is also a fun start because these guys already know that when they come together right now in the CPP, there will be noise. CDC will use that as a means of campaigning against them. So maybe they want to go separate ways and see so they can be able to test their both strength. So we should not use that time right now to denigrate Mr. Cummings. We should not use that time right now to denigrate Mr. Buaka or other people that are attached to them. Let us wait and see. The first round, a break election always going with second round. Let us wait and see. The second round, we understand our politicians, they talk at the end of the day, they guys still shake hands, make friends like you and myself who will fight every day, but they guys don't fight. They still come together, as one. So maybe it's a strategy that they're using. Let's go separate way. Let's see our strength. Let's see the number we're going to come up with. Second round, we will support each other with agreement. You cannot tell. Maybe that's a strategy. Because we're looking at Madera Copo also is in the race. We're also looking at Natana Barnes also is in the race. And these guys don't want to support the CDC government. They talk against the CDC government a lot. So second round, this guy could give their support. The man you just talked about from Nima County, what's the name? The Zimbabwean. You think he's going to give it? Taron Gongolo, you think he's going to give his vote to CDC come second round? Even if he has some number, he would never. So this is a strategy this guy using to gain more points, more numbers. So when second round arrives, they give their vote to a specific candidate that they want. And they go into an agreement. So on this note, we will post the number out there so our audience can participate, make their point, put their calls through, and let us hear from them, and then we will be able to conclude. So, Gabriel, you can read your comments, and then we will post the number as we await calls. We will also announce. Please do that.
Yeah, let me just try to stroll from the beginning. Unfortunately, I can't go all the way. So we have Theodora Hodges. He said, I'm here following from my soul clinic resident. That's from Liberia. So we want to thank you. And the coordinator, Marion Papi Grace, says, I am following closely. Sylvester Wama is following. And we have Moma Harris. And Mangil was closely involved in government operations. And Moma Harris, we have Wem Joss Elzel. Why can you guys see and hear the hate in your voice, Mr. Speaker? He said, why you can see and hear the hate in your voice, Mr. Speaker? I don't know. who is talking about.
Yeah,
Woman
brother.
Harris is, they will get the president when he leaves office. And Woman Harris will have repeated people. He said, they targeted CPOS due to his handling of the Cummings and Samuka case. That's what more people are thinking. William George L. He's the office boy to the president, as you said. The USA do the best. So we have, let me see, let me go by. We have Amadou Dakabwe Blend. Why didn't they get Ellen when she admitted all the stealing during origin? Is it selective justice or what? So we have Moma Harris. Moma Harris said, times are different now, friend. America did things differently during the early days. Okay. May I repeat that comment also? Okay. Abel went with all the outside experience the president had during his football career. He did nothing using it to his advantage to put his minister in check. Then we have Moma Harris say, unfortunately, the president is running the government on friendship. Leaders should not operate like that. Abel said, guys, why you ready stopping president from taking action against the corrupt officials? Yeah, why ready stopping the president? So, okay, so far so good. We have repeated commenters, and Moma Harris said, I definitely agree with you, Tim, as the opposition have many grounds to cover. That is why they need to hit the ground running. So see at that Thompson say, Gabriel, you know I'm watching, right? Okay, so far so good, gentlemen. Mama, I strongly believe Mr. Kumi has a good chance of winning this election like other two candidates. The voters on the ground are disenchanted and looking for someone who can deliver them. They are not necessarily thinking popularity. They are not necessarily thinking popularity, but rather someone that will improve their lives. So, Augustine Tamase, good afternoon, Diaspora Talk. I'm following religiously from a slum community in district number 16. So far, so good. That's it for the comment, gentlemen. So we still have more of them coming. Thank you so much. See you.
Okay, so let's take a short water break, and then right after that water break, we will open the phone lines to take our calls. So let's do that, gentlemen, right away. Let's take a water break.
Yeah.
Then we will open the phone line.
They say I love money, baby. Oh, you love money, baby. So many say they got love money, baby. They got love money, baby. You love baby. Well, I want it money can do. What it money can do. What it money can do. What it money can do. Well, I want it money can do. What it money can do. What it money can do. What it money can do. I put my money in the red bank. Before I buy the money, I let my money in the red bank. I never see it from there. They get it never stop, but I'm going to concentrate them. It's about it's about
Yeah, very shortly, the number be posted out there for you guys to call and participate on the show tonight. The Diaspora Talk, we are here today discussing issues affecting our country, Liberia. The number is live on the screen. Also, we have the number being pinned at the bottom of the live broadcast. Yeah, please place a call to participate on the show tonight. Yeah, the numbers on the screen to call and participate on the show. Yeah, right after this session of the Man Panto, we're going our second phase and we call it a day. Yeah, the number live on the screen. You can also check in the comment section. The number been pinned in the comment section for you to participate. Place your call through and say what's on your mind about our topic tonight. I think we did our best to explain to the Liberian people about what unfolding in the country there. When Liberian man die, Liberian man kill him. When Liberian man fall down, he was being pushed by Liberian man. That's why the music say, now me say, oh my people. Yeah, my people, I love music. Music, you know, it inspired the soul. We know our Most High that we serve by God. He been inspired by music, praises, and worship. Happy Sunday there to you all. Let's discuss the issue. Place in your call to participate on the Diaspora Talk tonight. Yeah, it's right now time for calls. Taking your calls, participate. So let's go to the phone line as we're taking calls. Okay, my people, that was just a musical break and also the water break there. So if you
CEO, we got a caller on the line.
Okay, good.
Good morning, caller. An email where you call from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is following the show calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead, you're live.
Yeah, thanks once again for the crew and the discussion. Like we all been saying regarding the personal decision, you know, it concerning to some other with all the vast experience a person had, you know, person have more experience, also experience than the president do. If you compare the poll from them, you know, they were waiting to learn, you know, the way he would speak and address the situation. But President where God gave him the talent, he went around the world, performed. But to make a critical decision, you know, I don't know, he running his country. That's a disappointment. He running the country on a friendship basis. God first, but he made my game, he made to it. I'm not saying created then though, but put it on the stage.
Right.
So, you know, as a president, you have to set the tone for your deputies or your minister to follow. If the president was setting the tone, all the men are going to follow. But he's not setting the tone. At the end of the day, the masses suffer. Look the revelation that Falcon gave. You see, Savon Megre, her brother in position. So those are in West Point and the brother, they don't qualify too. So we just need to continue to educate our people back home that they should think twice. Because the first 6 years, giving George Weah the time, look at that performance. If he gave another 6 there, we don't know what's going to happen. We have to educate the voters to vote wisely, and we have to continue to pressure the president to make a sound decision for the interest of the country. We have to take the country interest first, then the individual. Yeah, we may all love George Weah for his talent, but our country interest comes first. And so we should continue to speak truth to power. I appreciate you guys for the show. And I'll continue to educate our people back home, because those are back home going to vote. You and I have the opportunity to live out of Liberia. We can find food to eat. We can do other things. We think differently. But our people back home, like one of the presenters said, instant gratification. You get a corporate or have that correct, then that's it. But guess what? A couple of days later, go back to the same situation. So let us continue to advocate and educate our voters. Appreciate you guys. I continue to follow y'all. But to our man Gabriel, saying that Comey to put his ego down. Gabriel, have you ever asked, it's rhetorical, have you asked Joseph Barker if he ever asked Comey to go as vice president to him? Because Comey can come and say, Joseph Barker, I want to be vice president. Or Joseph Barker can come and say, Comey, I want to be vice president. That question go to the both of them. And all of them have the right, to contest for the presidency, because it's through the presidency you can impact a greater change. No one said or lawmaker or vice president can do it, but the president set the tone. When president said people will eat today, they will eat. When president said the coffee today, there will be a coffee. So we should, that's the reason why Mr. Comey is always that it's true that they can have a greater impact. Let us give them the opportunity. Once again, thanks for the show this able.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, CEO, back to you. That was a caller from Minnesota. All right. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Morning. I'm Nyekeno, calling from Europe. How are you?
Good. Go ahead. You're alive.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the program.
Welcome.
I don't know. You see, the problem with we in Liberia is that the people that we vote and the way we vote the people is what causing the problem for us. How come can somebody come to Europe and just spend their time playing football, and we say the person can read and and make good judgment? That I don't know. Definitely, that baffles me. How can we put somebody that come to play just football in Europe, did not go to school, and tell that person to control in Africa? Didier Drogba, he contested twice for the Ivorian. He never even won. His vote never went anywhere because the people know that this guy have no experience, no administrative experience. So he was definitely put the FA backward,
Right.
So I don't know how can we get a presidency to that. Look, 2017, I really felt bad. And I knew the outcome of that whole thing. And the opposition in Liberia, look, let me tell you, Liberian people, we don't have to come together. The people know who they want. If they want Joseph Barker, they will go for him. If they want George Weah, they will go for him. But even if all of the opposition go together, even Cummings and Joe Barker unite, George Weah can beat them in one round if they don't want Joe Barker, because the people can hit them, the top. They will not go for vice president. They know the vice president don't mean anything to them. So all of the opposition can go together. It's just something different. But if they want the president finish, that's the presidency they vote for. Thank you very, very much for the program.
Thank you so much, my brother. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. All right. CEO, back to you.
CEO.
Gabriel?
You are muted, CEO. You get me? Mazakwa?
Okay, I'm sorry there, gentlemen. Sorry, it came from my side there. Yeah, so they're taking more calls there from
All right, CEO, we got a call. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Good morning, gentlemen. The Diaspora. Good morning. This is Albert Konova, and I'm calling from President here in Bolivia, Iowa.
Good morning, Alfred. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
I
think on the show,
let's see.
and I think with all my pay. You know, this problem with our opposition people, they need to have a clear out of what they want in terms of running the country for the president. You know, I was disappointed in the last 2 weeks when, you know, I've been leaning towards the Arizona big community regarding the policy and what for the Congress. But I was disappointed this year when we went and we collaborated with accountability. Look, let me say this, my brother. The woman and the man cannot be having a day. Then you get out, you say you're going by the day. When the woman and the man out. When they equally have access to that man, it makes sense. There's a coming out over and over again, like you cannot do the same thing over and over and expect to get different results. The CPC has been around 2020, right? And we have seen over the last 2 years that they continue to go back and forth, and nothing is being achieved. Look, Mr. Kumi needs to be clear with that principle. If he wants to be part of that, then he goes single. Then he set himself to the people. Rather than trying to say you want to build a coalition that cannot hold. Because you know what? There are people that they have to go. They know what they want. And the issue of ethnic verification is one of the things in our election process. They won't be there at this party. We got 14 months of election. Let it be there and say it's the party. Right now, if you only come back to start to go to vote again, she was be there. Because the justice agent law just nobody have already settled the matter. The commission agreement has already been settled. So for me to see accountability going again and trying to honor that particular process that has already been settled by the Supreme Court to say he's trying to build a new coalition with the ANC, I just say as a their bluff or as a way of trying to get money from Mr. Kumi. Because it doesn't make sense. How will you go and have a collaboration and be a political leader out? And you see that then you think to yourself that a collaboration will be valid. It's not valid. Because if the only thing that goes to court right now as we speak, she will win him again. And we'll still be having a same back and forth. So what I can say to Mr. Kumi is that if he really believes that if he wants to become president, let him send himself to that people and forget about this collaboration. Because we don't feel that they are entitled to certain things in our political system. They're not talking about whether or not they're going to break this institution. Everybody comes with their people. And as a result, we will continue to see this. And that's the other thing we talk about is this. If these big guys believe that they can have a collaboration in the 7-1 election, let them come to an agreement. Call for a dialogue, come to an agreement and say, oh, gentlemen, we'll go and settle where we are. But when we go in the 7th round, anybody from will also come second to the president, will all support you. Let them sign the agreement and let everybody move their second way. We have like 14 months of election. So you still have our position that in this array. So for me, I just think that the right thing to do, form of kind of document and stuff, it will be our separate way. But when we go in the 7th round, anybody come from one or our second, we all support you. I think that's the thing to do. Thank you so much for having me on the show this morning.
Thank you, Alfred. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's fine there from Alfred. Tima, we're taking 2 more calls, then we will all conclude on our comments from our callers, and also we give our parting comment. But let me just make some clarity, right?
Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from.
Okay.
Good morning, I'm calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead. You're live.
How are you all?
Good.
I listen to your conversation. It sounds good. It sounds well. Everything's set up. But we are out of Liberia as I said, the diaspora people that live in the modern world and know what all is right. We know the rules and regulations of Liberia. We know who can be president in Liberia. We know who not qualified to be president in Liberia. In this country that we live in, outside of Liberia, do we dictate to the president or the cabinet member to tell them what to do in the government? We live in a modern world. I live in America. I do not call Joe Biden or Donald Trump and tell him, say, I want you to fire everybody in your office today. I pay tax here. I got ready to do what I want to do to see it. We in America, we live all outside of the country, but we knows how to run the country in Liberia. We know how to run the whole government in Liberia. Well said, Joe is dummy. Joe football player. Joe is not qualified to be Liberian president. Joe is not he's don't know nothing about government. He didn't do nothing for Liberian people. He just a dummy in a role. The sanction that they put on the people, why are we calling those people criminal? The American that put sanction on the American says, when you go to court, when you guilty, then you criminal. They don't call you criminal before you get to court. They don't find you guilty before you get to court. But with Liberia, we know that we see and we hate the people in Liberia right now. Because I'm not talking about the few people that are on sanction, I'm talking about the people that are living in Liberia. We are also the diaspora, we're not doing good for people. We are creating chaos in our country. Nobody want to go back to war. We only can get on our knees and pray for good governor. We pray for the Liberian people to choose who they want, because they live there. But we cannot run the country outside. If Joe, we are sitting, there's no everybody say also have the war, also have Liberia. Do you think Liberia have a government? Because they put in Diaspora say fire John Brown. They put in Euro say fire Esther. They put in Euro say fire Natama again. Fire Jabasi because he just for small, but he don't know nothing about that because we don't get it test. Why he doing that? They will just say fire everybody. Joe, we have this no everyone all in the Diaspora. Do we think that bro even have water to drink? Please, my people, let us just be people with our people in Liberia because we really want fooling our people. Because the people listen to us in this country. We tell the post report about the war. Nobody in Liberia will go back to war. Not a single soul about the war. They will get in the street, they will demonstrate, they will go home. But nobody will go back to war until the Liberian people can wake up themselves with a clear answer today. We are going to the street to demonstrate for our right. Or any politician inside, anybody bribing it, Liberia will go for. But until then, Liberia will say where it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, man. This is Rosas Pro. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Rosas Pro. Good. You live. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the show, man. I just called on, but I think that one of the previous callers said concerning George Weah and why should we take someone who is a football player. I think he mentioned a point. He talked about Didier Drogba rejection. Didier Drogba was 6. Soccer is my era. I follow it a lot. Didier Drogba was 6 years old when he left the Ivory Coast for Toulouse in France. He grew up there. The people of Ivory Coast don't even know him. It was just recently when he came back, he started playing for the African Cup of Nations and the World Cup. They are still not sure because there was a lot of problems between him and the people because they didn't know him. This guy grew up all the time he spent over there. So it was hard. So if he talking about they rejected Didier Drogba, let him go to Cameroon. Samuel Eto'o now is the head of the Cameroonian Football Federation or Association. Why did they choose him? Because he's a homegrown son like George Weah. He spent his life over there. He born there. He grew up there. He spent he did things over there like George Weah. Like doing the Cup of Nations and other things. George Weah was helping with transportation and other people say, well, he got his money back. I mean, but at least he made a lot of effort, and sports was the only thing that time some of them were in exile in Guinea. In the Ivory Coast, you tell us, on that Liberian people gravitated towards Georgia. You cannot say the same about Didier Drogba. So I hope he get it into perspective. And the leadership is, look, I am as equally frustrated with Georgia in ability to speak on, but that doesn't mean that you should say, oh, because he's a football player. I know movie stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger and other people, they went on the scene and they did well, because they listen to people, they have good advices. So it doesn't have to do with your career or wherever you come from. It's that, that leadership ability, you should be able to comprehend, you should be able to understand your people, you should be able to speak on vital issues. So this whole football, let's put it to rest. It's not a core issue here. The core issue here is George Weah should be able to get the rep surrounded by the right people. You can even be a marble player from Liberia growing up over there. Once you ascend to that leadership and you got good advisors, you got good people around you, you will make it. So that's just my point. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you very much, Roses. You're welcome.
Okay, T-Max, we cannot take all of the calls tonight, so we will take maximum 2 more calls, then we be able to make our comment. Russell Pro, you cannot compare Schwarzenegger with President we are. So Schwarzenegger,
Yes, good morning. Remember where you call from.
Good morning, Diaspora Talk. Good morning to our follower, the following Diaspora Talk. My name is Tom. I come from Moswara County.
Go ahead. You're live.
Thank you. I would like to contribute on the election of 2023, and as some of the issues that you guys raised.
Go ahead.
Listen, like there is a resolve, and they are resolved to vote against bad governance. They are resolved to vote against corrupt leaders. They are resolved to vote against issues that affect their life. There are many who raise issues. They are not back homes. Who cannot say we have not do, but there are promises that made by leader that fails. So some of these promises that they made yesterday and they fail. Not only president, we are not to be re-elected, but even both the legislature was in the legislature, both and ruled it. I will not put well for 7% of the legislature of the current
Tima, let it change the location, man. Come in, bro. We can't get anything clear from you.
Can you change your location? You come in breaking in and be a little audible.
Yeah, we can't get anything from him, man.
Yeah, you can call back.
Let him call back. Tima. We're not hearing it. We're not getting anything. Yeah, that's injustice.
All right.
We're not getting anything.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
You cannot compare a soccer legend with that of Schwarzenegger, who was involved in the military activities. We know that's the big difference from Samuel Kayando and that of Josh Weah.
Good morning. Your name and where you come from?
Yeah, good morning, Diaspora Talk. This is Teddy Lion Yakun.
Teddy.
From the city of North Dakota.
There you go. Welcome. What you got for us this morning? Go ahead.
North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota. Just to let you know, the family of Diaspora Talk, that North Dakota have been hit very seriously, more especially the Liberia community. Both the Liberia community and the CDC chapter in North Dakota have been hit a devastating sudden news of one of our brothers called Festus Sanction. He's the NPP chairman for the coalition, representing the coalition. But this is an individual who has a very special lifestyle, the way he lives his life, that everyone in North Dakota, including members of the state, they are seriously downhearted of his sudden death news. He died in a car crash on his way from work yesterday. Wow. So the whole of yesterday, everybody's to his house. We've been having death news, but this one is extremely different because this is a brother who never got angry with nobody. The people's person, a unified individual, a good soul, just left us that the Liberians in North Dakota are extremely confused of his death news. But just inform, the war, inform the Diaspora Talk. But let me get to the point.
Yeah. We on behalf of the CEO, myself, and the rest of the panelists, we want to send our condolences to you guys, and we're very sorry for the loss, and we hope the bereaved family will take heart and be strong. Thank you for giving us that information, my brother. I'm so sorry.
Thank you all social media. Thank you very much for being concerned. Well, I would like to talk about the behavior of Alexander Cummings. Is not consistent in being a person who telling Liberian people that you cannot do the same thing and get a new result. But Alexander Cummings have lied many times unscrupulously to the Liberian people. So this individual we cannot trust. But when it comes to President Weah, what people are saying, about some of the peculiar decisions or some, practices around him. Well, Liberians know that President Weah have been the president who have ever carried on insurmountable development and willing to really help this country to develop the country for the betterment. But we should understand the draconian system of Liberia is a system, fighting the system, the approach is different. Not everybody can see within what's going on. So there are the oppositions, they're using the power within that, the ordinary Liberians cannot really see what is going on, the fights that go on within the circle of the establishment. So some of these decisions, some of these things have been happening. We understand. That's why we refuse to take our support from George Weah. We know at the end of the day, he will be victorious at the end of the tunnel. So President Weah, he loved the country. You cannot compare President Weah as my brother Robert said, Rector said that. He's not in the capacity of DJ Drogba. President Weah has been a grassroots individual who been connected with the Liberian people, and the Liberian people have seen over the past few years what he has done. The oppositions, they are suffering from the indecision. That shows that their simplicity as people who don't have the right trajectory to put the Liberian. They are liars, they are failures, they are not consistent, they are divided people because of their ulterior motives they have with each other. Talkers of them saying they're coming together, Liberian people shouldn't see that as a cake to eat, because that will be a portion. They're always proving that simplicity, fight them on themselves, destroy themselves, they do a lot of stuff against themselves. What kind of so-called strategies they have that they think that at the end, in front that they will come and emerge to be a good alternative for the Liberian people.
Thank you, Teddy.
Because that is a personal kick. Liberian people should eat that.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Max, I think next time Teddy Line, come on the platform to talk more, because the guy, I know he really want to support the party. Yeah, so let's try to go into the calls and comments from our audience, because Tima, like I said, we don't have much time and we can't take all of the calls tonight because we have more activity ongoing. So it is an important thing to take in calls from our audience that are following us, our sister Siata there from the ANC. People, I don't know why Liberian people could accuse people when you try to just give your own views about issues. Gabriel talk about Joseph Boaka. I was just trying to give reference why it is important that communists want to be president of Liberia, and people saying that SYC and blah, blah, blah. In a race tomorrow, I will tell you, yes, I won't be president of Liberia because if I'm vice president, I cannot make the change that I want to make. I will tell you that I don't want to be a minister because I cannot make the change that I want to make. I want to be a president because a president have a unilateral decisions in a country as compared to just a representative or those being appointed by the president. That's what we all feel to realize. That's the reality of what I'm trying to say.
CEO, can I just respond to something?
Making a comment about George Weah and that of Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger have been involved in a military movie, and we all understand that a military is an era of discipline and an era of leadership. T-Mas, you can bear me witness on this. The soccer is something just far different from the military. You cannot compare the two. There's no way you can compare soccer with military. A military is far different, far professional than just a soccer. So you cannot compare those people. Schwarzenegger have been serving all of the time in his movie as a leader. George Weah has not been serving as a leader all of the time in his soccer career, except just for the Lone Star that he was technical director. He was not a captain for the PSG. He was not a captain for AC Milan. He was not a captain for the other teams and teams, whatever he played on. No, he was never a leader there, but he was just a follower. So how can you compare these two people? Charlie Siningo has served all of the time as a hero in his movie, as a leader in the military, and we understand the military doctrine. So how can you compare these two people? That's why you see Samuel Kedo was one way or the other being successful as a president in Liberia. When you are counting successful president, you can never leave Samuel Kayando out. That's why you see he's being placed on the second highest bill in our country. We all understand Toba was one of the successful presidents in Liberia. That's why he's on 100 bill. There comes Samuel Kayando. You think Samuel Kayando is just on that $50 bill just because of formality? It's because of his achievement as president. That's why he's being placed on the $50 bill. He was a military personnel. He did his best. It was just due to some tribal sentiments that he went on the wrong side. So, gentlemen, on this note, we will all give our parting compliment, and we want to respond to any of the comments or calls from our guests. From our audience, we can also do so. So let's start with you, Gabriel. This time around, and we'll go to Timas and I'll conclude.
Okay, thank you so much, CEO. You see, a caller said that why should I tell Mr. Cummings to lower his ego and go as VP to President William? So as I know that, everyone has the exclusive right or constitutional right, to be who he or she want to be. I was just looking at it, okay, from the HR perspective, I don't know whether this can also be translated into politics. There's something we call inverted seniority or inverse seniority. It means that, the most senior man in an organization is always given the first preference. Go and check it out. We call inverted seniority. The most senior man in an organization is always given the first preference. CEO, when you and myself are working for the company and you have spent more than 4 or 5 years in that company, you have the experience, you have almost
Yeah,
everything.
seniority. That's true. Seniority. You are
Yeah.
right. You are right on
And
that.
I have spent like 2 or 3 years. If time to come for layoff, I'm the very first person they are going to be laying off because yes, I'm a newbie. I'm a new person who I just entered. I don't have more experience as compared to you. So that's what I have been looking at. When we go by the inverted scenario, you will know that Joseph Newman Boaga seniors or Alexander Cummings in the political arena. That man has spent 42 years. He's incorruptible. He has worked in the government. Let's say election results shows that he has the popularity. The man came second. He went for runoff. Alexander Cummings came fourth. He couldn't even beat the man, Prince Johnson. He couldn't even beat Prince Johnson with all the tinted and checkered reputation Prince Johnson has of killing President Doe.
But Gabriel,
I'm coming 1 minute.
I just want to inject why you conclude. I'm not going to say anything much. I just want to inject why you conclude, right? With the issue of seniority, you cannot bring it to the political dynamics. Because the political dynamic is not owned by any individual. But you talk about scenario, for example, you and I work for the same company and you've been there over a long period of time. For example, you have more rights in that company than me. When the company is trying to fire people based on why the workforce drop, they will drop you guys. I will have been there a long time based on my because of the seniority, they will keep me. If there's any opportunity for travel or other states and what have you, I've been there a longer time. So I will have that seniority over you. So now with the political arena in Liberia, it's not based on seniority. It's based on population. We also back up Matthew and talk about people who been there, same rock or AJ, Joey Akinwa, and all of these guys. So how can you compare how can you compare the seniority aspect of Baka Matthew? Tokbana Tipote and that Joey who just came in the picture. So you cannot compare the two. It's just fine, Gabriel.
CEO, like I previously stated, I said I was speaking from the basis of the HR management, as a human resource management perspective when it comes to seniority, inverse seniority, inverted seniority. And I'm thinking whether it also translates to politics. So I was saying when it comes to, politics, everybody knows that Joseph Newman Boakai is undeniable. He's senior Mr. Kumi. I was just trying to say they can use their own logic, they use their own, political sophistication, they use their own analysis to sit down and say, okay, Joseph Newman Boakai, okay, Mr. Kumi, is your constitutional right to run. Mr. Kumi, look, I did a SWOT analysis of Mr. Kumi, and one thing I can tell you is that that man has a very large diaspora support. I don't know how he managed, but that man, his message has resonated with the people in the diaspora. Most of the people, so it means that when Mr. Kumi becomes president tomorrow, those who are in the diaspora, when they have confidence in your government, that's the most time they try to invest back home. Remittances will flow into the country. It will even back our GDP. That's one thing I'm thinking about. But the problem here with Mr. Kumi here is that he does not have, I don't know how he's managing the same message that has resonated in the diaspora. It's not resonating in Liberia, where the voters are. Those people that are in America supporting you, some of them will support you financially. Are you getting it? But it is possible that most of them will not travel during election to go and support you. So that is one of the weakness of Mr. Kumi. His message has not resonated down yet. And you look at the polling, you look at all the pollings, you look at all the numbers. So I'm just trying to say that for the sake of Liberia, they can just use their own description. They can just use their own description and be very, very much realistic. Kumi, you have, let's say it is your constitutional right to run, but based on the seniority, inverted seniority approach, Mr. Boakai seniors you. Mr. Boakai has the number. Mr. Boakai has the popularity. Mr. Boakai has the experience. My man, go to the paper here. The paper just go in one time. Go to the paper. In fact, your proximity to the presidency might even make help you to become the president next election. When Mr. Kumi allows this chance to slip from him, there are all of non-political, competitive, political people that are coming on the space. So, mind you, this man will still be very much competitive, Mr. Gonglo, in 2029 election. Costa then coming. All the peoples are coming. So if Mr. Kumi just sit there and don't get near the presidency because he feel that, people believe that he can become president right now, and don't go maybe try to manage a way, go with Mr. Boakai. After Mr. Boakai one time, he can run to be president, and he sit there, people pushing, say you can do it on your own, you do it on your own. 2029, he might have a very slim chance. The only way to kick Buya out of that presidency right now is Kumi and Boakai ticket. That's the only thing I see right now. If they can do it, even if they go second round, with the level of anger, with the level of division in the opposition, I can tell you it'll be very, very much slim for the opposition to win. It'll be very, very much slim for the opposition to win. So, stop there for now.
Thank you, Gabriel. Let's hear from you, Tim. Let's get your parting comment or any response also to from
Yeah, thank you very much, CEO. I think I was just trying to respond to one of the callers, the lady that called from Minnesota, and she's saying we in the diaspora, we want to tell the president what to do or want to run government in Liberia. I want her to understand we are Liberians too. We have the same right like the ones living in Liberia, and we have the right to speak. We have the right to air our views on how we feel and think about how Liberia is. Not because we live in other countries means we don't have right to speak on issues in the country. So I hope she understands that. Going to the point, the opposition needs to put their acts together because it is about time that they really try to figure out what they're going to do come next year, 2023 elections, because the division will not win President Weah. I can tell anybody for a fact, whether you like to hear it or not. Even if they don't win him, but just being united, I think it will be a strong force to get close to where they're supposed to get, or if possible, win the election. But with the level of division that is unfolding right now, I don't see a way through for the opposition. And the ruling establishment is still doing their possible best to resonate with the people while they're out here separating themselves and fighting. So I think if they mean well and they mean good for the country, they should be thinking about uniting themselves and put their personal egos aside and try to take Liberia to a better place. Other than that, President Weah is a 12-year president, 12 years straight. That is no joke.
Sure
The
about.
next thing has to do with right. The next thing has to do with these guys that were sanctioned. This same lady spoke of, oh, why are we saying these guys are criminal? They are criminal when they have not gone to court. Do you need to go to court? You sit here. I don't know if you related to some of these guys or you friend with them or whatever it is, but my colleague was just talking about lifestyle, the lifestyle of people. I'm here, I'm making say $4,000 a month, but I'm building houses that cost 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. Not just one of them, not two of them. I'm driving private cars that cost over 40, 50, 75,000. And what do you call that? So our people, some of them, the way they try to, make stuff to look like, oh, due process. Due process is not for the people. The thing is glaring. It's clear. Nobody in the country or out of the country don't know the lifestyle of those guys that would sit there. Look at my when he buried him, man. Where was she? Any of her parents, they're not even alive, ever got buried that way. So people looking at these things. So I don't know how people sit there and talk about, oh, they need due process. Oh, why you call them criminals? Dude, you were nobody. You were just here, not even can't afford to even buy a taxi for yourself. Now you got in government. Now you're building 400,000, 500,000 houses. You driving private cars that cost on 75,000, 80,000. How do you call that? And your salary don't even match with those things that you are doing. Why Liberian people are like that, and they sit around and try to like support these kind of people. So for me, I want to thank the United States, and I hope they continue to do more to some of those guys down there who just leave and not serving the people who are trying to do the work they were supposed to do, but to go there and only steal and put money in their pockets. I hope the U.S. can really like sanction more of them who doing those same kind of stealing from the Liberian people. Other than that, again, see you. I want to thank our viewers and our panelists for the show today, and that's it from my end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Team Max, and thank you, Gabriel, for those splendid, expos on our topic of discussion today. To our audience, also want to say thank you there so much for being a part. It is because of you guys we are always coming on here. We appreciate everybody comments, your call. There's no stupid question being asked, and there's no stupid question being made, except for the insults that we would not condone on this platform. We appreciate every one of you all, and please keep following the Diaspora Talk on YouTube. Keep following the Diaspora Talk on Facebook and also Asia Premium platform. We are live everywhere discussing the issues. Liberia is our country and a country for us all. We cannot sit in the diaspora and just keep quiet. The CDC being in the power today, they had a very huge support from the diaspora. Ellen Johnson said, becoming president of Liberia because she had a huge support from the diaspora. After she became president, we all saw that all of our government officials were imported. They all came from the diaspora and went to Liberia. The Mary Bro, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Gender, the Director for Budget Bureau, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the late Dr. McLean. All of those guys came from the US of A. President we are today being president, where his support come from? From America. The Eugene Falcon, who is frustrated now on social media, he was one of those guys who were very vocal on the Ellen-led government. And then I also helped convince people to elect President Weah, because I remember I was in Liberia at the time. Most of the time, I listen to Eugene Falcon on Kiss FM. Every time I'm driving around the city or at home, I'll put Kings FM on Eugene Falcon program or being relayed on Kings FM. So if you want to talk about us in the diaspora, we have major role to play there in Liberia. The Liberian people depend on us for decision making in our country. Maybe you don't value yourself in the diaspora, but the people back on the value of the most. So we have major role to play. Mr. Alexander Cummings is a very good leader. I'm gonna say it that way because of his. I mean, because of him being successful with the Coca-Cola. We did not hear any negative news since he worked with the Coca-Cola for I don't know 10 or 20 or 15 years or how many years he worked with the Coca-Cola. All that we heard was just a positive result from Mr. Alexander Cummings' relationship with the Coca-Cola at the time. So why can't we talk about the good about this man who worked with Coca-Cola successfully? He became a millionaire through his hard effort, not through government job, but through a private entity. Where is this man today? He's a successful man. He's a millionaire through a hard work. Why can't we say the good about him? What the big deal about that when you talk about Alexander Cummings, people feel that you're being paid? Who can pay me to talk for them? Nobody can pay me. I'm challenging anybody on the social media today. Nobody can pay me to advocate for any individual. Not even the Liberian people back home. I'm just saying the reality. That's who Mr. Cummings is. Joseph Human Brogan has worked for Liberia for more than 40 years. Liberians still are striving to benefit from his hard efforts. He served as vice president and he earned a very good amount of money. But still, how many Liberians can boast of being on scholarship for Joseph Human Brogan? But still, we understand that he understands government job and he has the experience. We are not disputing the fact. He can also be a good leader for Liberia tomorrow. What's the big deal about that? So all the guy needs to do, all they need to do is just to come together, with one love, work, and be able to put Liberian people together. Because if there is north or left and right corner from them, trust me, they confuse the Liberian people who to vote for. But I'm also going to say that if the citizen feel that the confusion within the opposition is a trap for them to win election, they're missing the mark. Because those opposition only trying to see how strong they are politically. And second round, you think Joseph Human Brogan going to support CDC in second round? Do you think that's going to happen? You think that Alexander Cummings going to support the CDC in second round? You think that's going to happen? Mr. Alexander Cummings will never be stupid, even if he's not successful in the first round. The second round, there will still be a collaboration that is with the opposition political party.
You can say that Mr. Alexander Cummings has the reputation of being neutral. He did that in previous election.
That was then. That was then, but it is not what is happening right now in the country that they are all watching and they are all angry about, and they're going to sit there and lie to repeat itself. Then we have no confidence, we have no trust in them, because the reason he did it before, because the George Weah had never became president of Liberia. So we all had a high expectation that this man who coming from the slum, who never had bread and butter on his table, is coming to the presidency. Maybe he could do his best. But we all seen the worst of this man, and you think they're going to repeat? No. My brother, wise man changes. It is only a fool that remains constant. So I know Mr. Alexander Cummings is not a fool. I know Joseph Human Brogan is not a fool. Not even the Terran Gonglo is a fool. Or Yomli Kanga Lauren is a fool. These people are all wise people. So if they supported the CDC back then, and they're all seeing what happened in the country right now, and you think they're going to continue to do that? No. They're going to take a break. Joseph Brogan had never become president before Liberia. Not Alexander Cummings ever become president of Liberia. So they will, this time around, if there's a second chance, they will decide to give that support to Alexander Cummings or the Joseph Human Brogan or the Terrangon, whosoever is in the lead of the CDC. That's what I think going to happen. That's what I perceive that's going to happen. So all we need to do is that just play our card very well. Let us do the opposition the separate way they want to go. If I still want to support the Cummings, let me support Cummings as we are going separately. If I still want to support Joseph Human Brogan, let me support him as we are going separately. Because we all understand there will be a second chance. There will be a second round. And at the end of the day, this political party that is within the opposition will find their way to collaborate with an agreement. It will definitely happen. So on this note, we're going to draw the curtain to the end of our broadcast tonight. We will definitely have Prophet Key on next week, as we could not have him today. He sincerely apologized to the audience, to his supporter, and also to our platform that he cannot be on today because of some other personal reason. But we're having next week to discuss national issues about our country, Liberia. T-Max and Deborah, I want to appreciate you guys for being on and discussing the issues of our country. This proves the Liberian people that we love our country.
Before we go, let me just ask you a question.
The guy won't give me out of today.
No, I won't get you hard now. I just want to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Chief.
So why do you make up Mr. Kumi signing a collaboration deal with Musa Bedete without the consent and acquiescence of this lady, Nyombli Kanga, who is the political leader? Why do you make that?
You know one good thing, Gabriel, is when we understand the position of a chairman in any political party, then we will not be asking questions like this. Musa Bedete is the chairman for Liberty Party. Nyombli Kanga Lawrence is just a political standard bearer. The chairman have a lot of work to do in the political party as compared to the standard bearer. So if Mr. Alexander Cummings went on signing an agreement with the chairman, it shows a clear sign that
without the consent of the political leader, I'm talking about we talk about collaboration without the consent of the political leader.
But there's something you should understand also too, Gabriel. We all saw that the political leader at the end of the day went away with a different faction. And we all try to understand that all of these things has to do with some griefs, and all of these things has some, personal issues and what have you. And at the end of the day, we all understand that Musa Bedete spent $20,000 behind for her re-election.
So what?
So this shows that the political standard bearer for the Liberty Party had compromised her integrity simply because she wanted to become a senator. She compromised a lot of things within the Liberty Party. If we listen to the late Charles Bronson's daughter, that girl or that lady, she spoke sound at Gabriel. I just wish you can take your time on your free time. Just go and listen to her comment, what she was saying. The lady spoke wildly. She did not complain. She did not say anything negative about Musa Bedete. She was only talking about the legacy of her father, how her father wanted this party to be. And in the 2017 election, when Musa Bedete was supporting the Liberty Party with those vehicles and things, people said it was Dangote from Nigeria who was supporting, Liberty Party because he wanted to have an investment there in Liberia. It was Musa Bedete from the stolen money he had from the FIFA. Musa Bedete spent a lot of money. That's why right now Musa Bedete.
But see, that does not give the right to Musa Bedete to unilaterally take a political party to another party and go and sign a deal without the consent of the political leader. That was a unilateral decision. And guess what? And guess what? When Nyombli cannot take them to court, it's going to hunt. Look, let me tell you something. All these things that I'm coming. That's why sometimes no, my man. No, let me tell you something. You cannot unilaterally. You and myself. Let's take for example, we are on this particular diaspora talk, and we are talking about merging with Spunto or other radio station. As the Secretary General, do I have the exclusive right to just go and sign any paper without your consent? You, the CEO of this entity, how will you feel?
Okay, let me just give a very simple answer to this question.
No, I just give you an example. Would that agreement be binding, legally binding?
Yeah, let me just give a very simple answer to this question. We all understand that Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, Dara Zeta, all of them were on a suspension due to failure on their part to pay their dues.
The Supreme Court stepped in that, brother.
The Supreme Court did not step in. No. The Supreme Court did not step in the issue.
The Supreme Court regardless of The Supreme Court regarded Nyomli Kanga as the political leader. The Supreme Court
so political leader can pay dues?
No, I'm not saying. I said the Supreme Court recognized Nyomli Kanga as the political leader. So definitely,
and the Supreme Court also recognized Musa Bede as the chairman.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court did not say Musa Bede can unilaterally sign a collaboration without
That's what I want you to understand. That's what I want you to understand. Because I'm saying this thing, quoting these guys. You know, the Liberia party, the Nyomli Kanga Lauren, the Dara Zitters, and other folks were being suspended due to not paying the dues. You know, like in our platform, we know we have a rules and regulation. When you don't pay dues for so and so time, what happened to you, right? And after they had that commotion, Musa Bede came out to say that, okay, you know, the issue of the dues and what have you, we tried to put on the table because there was some agreement, some arrangement they had behind closed door. Okay, you know what? I'm coming, Gabriel. You know what? We haven't paid due for so and so months. Okay, you know what? Before we can come together to have a one understanding, make sure that you lift all of these dues on us, that we'll come out on the round table to discuss. I listened to Musa Bede most of the time asking questions. He said, no, we cannot dive into that. And you know about the due payment and you know SYZ and blah, blah, blah. We're trying to, you know, go to another page and whatever. Because there was an agreement already being set up among them. But when that agreement did not hold, Musa Bede is the chairman. The chairman had more power in a political party than just a standard bearer.
No power. The president, the chairman had that should exclude the political leader from participating in the collaborative deal. Remember, we're talking about collaboration.
There's something you
we're talking about collaboration. No, let me tell you something. See, let me just end on this. Because we are already going. Everything Kumi is doing. Everything Kumi is doing.
Does not agree on accepting Mr. Cummings as a standard bearer, and the other people agree. You think the political leader have the right to overshadow everybody's decisions?
The political leader does not have the right, but it should be a consensus. There should be a consensus.
How sure are you that there was no consensus that went on?
How many people you saw there? How many people from the United or from the Liberty Party you saw over there, excluding Musa Bede and Martin Kula, excluding Musa? How many thousands of people? Let me tell you something, CEO. Everything we are talking about, listen to me now. Everything we are talking about, sometimes we only look at Benin Nigeria for taking Musa Bede to court. But Mayor Kumi himself has worked assiduously hard to undermine the CPP. Look at when he was leaving from America. Without the consent of Nyomli Kanga, he went and visited Liberty. I'm coming. He went and visited Liberty Party. Even when the chairman, the woman said, you are not invited at my party. The woman said, you are not invited at my party headquarters. He went and he went there.
They make a unilateral decision for the party. That's why every party have its executive committee. The executive they make
no decision about merger, no decision about merger or any other things
over the executive committee. So if the executive committee that comprises of 10 persons and 8 persons show and agree on a decision,
Kumi himself is undermining the opposition. Kumi himself is undermining the opposition by working with Musa Bede. Kumi himself is doing it.
Not undermining nothing.
What do you mean he's not undermining? What do you mean he's not undermining the opposition?
Is a well-land man. He's a well-land man. He's
not displaying that here action.
You think the man don't understand what is going on? You think he doesn't?
CEO, should I go and sign a legal document on behalf of the platform without your consent? I'm the Secretary General for the platform. Should I go and sign a legal document without your consent?
The Secretary General for the party.
He's not the Secretary General, but the problem is that he should not do anything. That's especially when it comes to collaboration. Let me tell you something now. If you collaborate with anybody, it means that the both of you either share the same philosophy, the same ideology, and you cannot do that without including the chairman. Let's say the political leader. Why should you do that? Every political party has different ideology, different or something.
Lawrence, she lacked leadership ability.
Why would you say that?
The reason I'm saying that she lacked leadership ability because even to win to win Grand Bassa County. She had to
My man, you run it. No, we shouldn't
I'm
deviate
giving you
from the topic.
facts. Then you say we should know what I'm
But we shouldn't deviate from the topic. Even
I'm not
whether she lack
deviating.
leadership ability, she doesn't lack
I'm not
leadership ability.
deviating. I'm giving
That
you
does not
Gabriel, you don't
give the
want me to
exclusive
speak a
right
fact
to Musa ability.
Gabriel, that's the fact I'm giving you.
Which fact?
She lacked leadership ability. That's why she had to
How?
import voters from different county to come to Grand Bassa County to put her into position.
How did you know
I'm
that?
telling you.
What's your reliance? What's your reliance?
My reliance is based on this going senatorial election.
From where?
She won the election just by the skin of her teeth.
But that's not what we are discussing. We are talking about Musa Belede unilaterally taking the party and giving it to Mr. Kumi. So it has nothing to do with
it. Based on decision from the executive of the Liberia Party. Gabriel, maybe you say you're not following.
I mean, stop doing that kind of thing, man. Stop doing that kind of thing.
So where does decision come from?
Stop doing that kind of thing. Let's close up.
Where it come from?
Let's close up.
Where the decision come from? So we have to conclude, my man. The guy already gave my conclusion. My conclusion statement.
Conclude, brother.
I hope we can have another time to discuss this more and more. So to our audience out there, we want to appreciate you all for being on the platform tonight. We thank you all for following the Diaspora Talk. That is why we're doing the Diaspora Talk, discuss the issues. And we'll also discuss personality to go on personality, make the issues, we have to discuss it. So on this note, we're going to draw the curtain to end our broadcast, and we'll see you next week, Sunday, same time, same location on the Diaspora Talk. You have a wonderful, wonderful brand new week. Yeah, bye from my end.